thank you for each of you being here and how much we appreciate your indulgence on going through the new security requirements that we have. I just, the news media had me back there and asked me if we could plan on this type of security, the strictness of this type of security in the future. And actually, we're going through a process to be able to come up with something that we can all live with. I apologize tonight for the inconvenience to you and to our citizens, but we all recognize that security needs to be and has become a priority for our city, as it has probably for many other cities, not only in this region but throughout the nation. And so we appreciate your patience on allowing us to come up with a plan. Deputy Chief Gray, Jim Durrett, Missy Graham, Scott Oldby, and others have worked very hard on trying to come up with a plan that's as least intrusive as possible. And so tonight was the beginning of that. So if you'll be patient with us, we will come up with a plan that we think will have safety in mind for you and for the council and for anyone else that wants to attend the meetings, and then also allow us to handle our business and conduct our business that needs to be done as a city. So thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to work to an end result that we'll all be comfortable with. I also want to start out, normally we start out with a prayer and we start out with a pledge, but the first thing that I would like to do tonight would be, I'd like for us to rise and give a moment of silence for the Boulward family. So if you'd allow us to do that, let's all rise and give a moment of silence. Thank you very much. While we're still rising, I'd like to ask Council Lady Barbara Johnson to lead us in the prayer and the pledge to be led by Councilman Bill Forrester. Mayor Pro Tem.
Precious Father, as we bow here, thanking thee for the many blessings that you bestow upon us. We thank thee, Heavenly Father, for sparing us to be here today. And Lord, we ask you to watch over us one by one as we be here and protect us on our way home. Lord, let this meeting be what you would have it to be. Bless all that are standing here tonight. Be with us, O Heavenly Father. These blessings we ask in your powerful, precious name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And as Madam Clerk comes as she arrives over here, I want to also say a special thank you to the school board and to Mr. Mike Harris with the Board of Education for allowing us to use these facilities. It's very kind of them to offer, and we certainly appreciate that. And we would not have been able to do it without their courtesy and without their kindness. So we certainly appreciate the school board. Mr. Horace Murphy is here tonight. Are there any other school board members present other than Horace? Horace, you still here? Yes. Thank you very much, Horace, and please express our thanks to everyone involved. Madam Clerk.
Barbara Johnson.
Present.
Deanna McLaughlin. Present. James Lewis.
Present.
Wallace Redd.
Present.
Diana Ward.
Present.
Mark Harris.
Present.
Gino Grubbs. Jim Dole.
Present.
Richard Swift.
Present.
Bill Summers. Bill Forrester.
Present.
Wayne Harrison.
Here.
All members are present except for Mr. Grubbs and Mr. Summers.
Okay, thank you. We're calling a special session to order, October 15, 2007. Okay. We'll just start right off the top there. We have a third reading. Madam Clerk, would you like to read the ordinances and the resolutions, and then we'll begin?
Ordinance 27, 2007-08, third reading, authorizing a franchise agreement with Clarksville Department of Electricity for operation of a cable television system. Ordinance 35, 2007-08, second reading, amending the 2008 operating budget to transfer funds for Christmas on the Cumberland. Ordinance 46, 2007-08, first reading, amending the 2008 operating budget for downtown underground power. Resolution 1, 2007-08, approving an honorary designation of a portion of Lafayette Road as Tyler Tip Gibson Parkway. Resolution 17, 2007-08, approving an honorary designation of a portion of Edmondson Ferry Road as Jenkins Road. Resolution 20, 2007-08, authorizing an encroachment agreement with Conlon Corporation for installation of 2 overhead vacuum pipes on Commerce Street. Resolution 21, 2007-08, amending Personnel Procedure 91-1 relative to grievance procedure. Resolution 24, 2007-08, ratifying the mayor's appointment of Al Ansley as Chief of Police. Approval of board appointments. Board of Adjustments and Appeals, Clay Powers, October 2007 through March 2011. Housing Authority, Mary Elliott, October 2007 through September 2012. Human Relations Commission, Hossein Syed, October 2007 through June 2010. Rail Service Authority, Stan Williams, October 2007 through June 2011.
Okay, thank you, Madam. Okay, we have a third reading on the franchise agreement. Can we get a motion on the floor?
I look for approval, Mayor.
Motion is second. Any discussion on ordinance 27? If you would, please raise your hand if you want to discuss. Otherwise, what we'll do, unless you request a roll call, we'll just do it by agenda, by consent. Those in favor of ordinance 27, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed?
No.
Okay, Mr. Harrison. Okay, ordinance 35. I will make the motion on that. Actually is amending the 2008 operating budget, transferring the money from, transferring $14,500 from the Parks and Recreation Department over to the mayor's, to the account, to the administration budget, to be able to complete the Christmas Homecoming projects that we've talked about. So I'll make a motion for approval.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. Might as well do the next one too. This one may have to, need Mr. Durrett to come forward, amending the 2008 operating budget for downtown underground power. Mr. Durrett, do you want to address that?
Mayor, members of the council, if y'all are all familiar, as part of our capital projects budget, we're doing some underground power on Legion Street between 3rd Street and Public Square. It's a cooperative effort between the city and the Department of Electricity. And as we were getting into that, there's a short section of 1st Street that has overhead power right now, and we just felt as we're doing that, we might as well go ahead and clean up. That'll give us all of 1st Street. It's underground in front of the 911 center, but once you come past that, it's overhead. That'll give us underground power on Legion, on Franklin, all around Public Square, and also on 1st Street. It's replacing all the wooden poles that are on Franklin Street, on 1st Street with decorative lights like you see on Franklin. It's really for the reason it's in 2 different budgets. It's just from I guess just to be able to track it a lot better, because some of it is Parks and Rec stuff. There's some issues at McGregor Park that need to be addressed for Christmas on the Cumberland, and while we're doing that, we're making it available to get power to the courtesy dock that currently does not have power. So as opposed to just doing what we have to do, we're kind of beefing that up so we can get power to our courtesy dock. And I'll be glad to answer any questions that any of you might have.
Any questions or comments? Do we have a motion on the floor?
And a second.
And a second. If there's no questions or comments, those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Thank you, Mr. Durrett. Okay, resolution 1. Mr. Harrison?
Mayor, for the purpose of a motion, I yield the floor to Councilwoman Deanna McLaughlin.
Resolution 1, 2007-08 is approving an honorary designation of a portion of Lafayette Road as Tyler Tip Gibson Parkway. At our last meeting, we heard from 2 citizens during public comments outlining the reasons why it would be a good thing for us to honorarily name this portion of Lafayette Road after Mr. Dixon. He, during his lifetime, did some great things for the community, and especially Clarksville, in serving veterans, getting them to the VA hospital, and helping start the rescue squad. So I would really appreciate your all's support in approving this resolution to name a portion of Lafayette Road as Tyler Tip Gibson Parkway.
You make a motion on that?
Okay, there's a motion, I second.
Motion, Ms. McLaughlin.
Yes.
Motion for approval and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Johnson. Any discussion on Resolution 1?
Mayor, it's my understanding this actually does not change the addresses along.
No, it does not. It's honorary.
It's only honorary.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention. That's an interesting point.
Mayor, I'm not trying to cause any confusion, but in looking at this ordinance, it says between 41A and Fort Campbell Gate 10, that's actually outside the city. If we go to Purple Heart Parkway, that's where Lafayette Road ends in the city limits. It does not go all the way to Gate 10.
Okay, Ms. McLaughlin, would you like to amend this to state?
Yeah, I'll amend that to Purple Heart, from 41A to Purple Heart Parkway.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Derrick. Okay, is there a second, Brother Mountain?
Second.
Any other discussion on Resolution 1? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Resolution 1 approved. Okay, Resolution 17.
Mayor, for the purpose of a motion on this, I will yield forward to Mr. Councilman Marquez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mayor. Resolution 17, 2007-08, approving the honorary designation of a portion of Anderson's Ferry Road as Jenkins Road. As we heard a couple weeks ago, the Jenkins family came forward and mentioned all of the great contributions that the Jenkins family has contributed to that area. I would like to make a motion that we go forward with honorary designation on Resolution 17, 2007-08.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, Resolution 21, Mr. Harrison.
Well, Mayor, it's a resolution
20, pardon, yes.
authorizing an encroachment agreement with Conway Corporation for installation of 2 overhead vacuum pipes on Commerce Street. This, they're building a 56, if I'm not mistaken, 56,000 square foot facility with an investment of $5 million. And in order to do that, they will need to transport the tobacco back and forth as opposed to loading it on trucks and unloading it. This has been reviewed by the city engineer. It is deemed safe and a good project. And I make the motion that we accept it. If there are any questions about it, there are plenty of people here to answer them.
And seconded by Mayor Pro Tem? Who's the second? Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you, Ms. McLaughlin.
Did they look into the possibility of running those pipes underground?
It's not economically feasible.
Any other discussion on Harris?
Yes, Mayor, I just have a quick comment. Definitely, as we undergo the beautification of the city, I had a problem with any type of overhead system whatsoever. But after speaking with Mr. Sanders, definitely he assured me cosmetically that it would be presentable over Commerce Street, that there wouldn't be a problem. And also the total investment that depends on this vote of that overhead vacuum system is very important for the transfer of the tobacco. So I ask that you support it.
Okay, any other comments? Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Resolution 20 is approved. Okay,
That concludes mine, Mayor.
very good report, Mr. Harris. Thank you. Yeah. Resolution 21, I think we'll ask Mr. McNutt, if you don't mind, to come forward and explain that. Can I get a motion on Resolution 21? For approval. Second. Do you need a discussion on that? We've had quite a lot of discussion on it, but any questions you may have, Mr. McNutt? Are there any questions, Mr. McNutt? Yes, Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris?
You will, Mr. Ray.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll give it to Mr. Ray.
Okay, Mr. Ray.
I don't have a question, I would like to make an amendment if I may.
Okay. Okay.
At this, the bottom paragraph where it starts with substitute instead. I want to leave everything the same on that second sentence. The committee will be made up of department heads with at least one minority member. And at the end, or starting after the word member, I'd like to put and 2 city council members. Not doing away with the department heads or that minority member. I just want to go ahead and put the 2 council members back in. And that's the only change that I would like to make, and that would be my motion at this time on the amendment.
I would like to second that.
Second, okay. Let me make sure, let's see, substitute instead of which 3 will be primary members and 2 alternate members. The committee will meet with department heads with at least 1 minority member.
And 2 council
And
members.
2 council members, okay?
And then the period.
Okay, there's a motion second to amend, to add, and 2 city council members to Resolution 21. Any further discussion? Would you like to address that at all, Mr. McNutt? I know you've had some study and comments about it.
Mayor, City Council, I agree with that change. Mr. Red, I think that'll work out fine. I'll correct it to reflect that.
Any other discussion? Those in favor of the amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Now, Resolution 21 as amended. Do you give comments to Bill McNutt as he leaves? Okay. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Resolution 21 approved as amended. Resolution 24, I'm actually the one that brought this apart. It really is just a way of asking the council to be a part of the selection, the ratification of Mr. Al Ainsley, the chief of police. It's the mayor's prerogative to make that selection, but from most of you that have expressed your contempt with this selection, I want to give you the opportunity to ratify that. So I'd like to make a motion that you ratify Mr. Al Ainsley, the chief of police.
Second.
And second, any discussion? Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. And you have the approval of your board appointments in front of you. Unless there is an objection, I would accept a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any discussion about that? Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All approved. Any other discussion? Committeeman Long?
I'd just like to remind everybody that the city employees are putting a poker run on Saturday from Appleton's Harley-Davidson to support the United Way. And we would appreciate everybody's support. Registration is at 10 a.m. and the first fight out is at 12.
Okay, any other discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. And maybe, we already went over this resolution 1 and 17 concerning the name changes. And I voted for those, and I believe that it was the right thing to do. But in the future, and we had this some time ago too, concerning name changes, we have a population of more than 100,000 people in Clarksville. And many who have Medal of Honors and things like that. And I wish that we could come up with some type of a board or some type of a feasible way that we can filter out through a name change in the future. Maybe we can do that at a charter revision committee or whatnot. But just for the record, from this moment forward, if we don't have some standardized form for name changes, I'm not going to vote for any in the future.
Mrs. can speak to that.
Ms. Gregg?
Mayor and council, that committee is going to meet on Friday, the 26th at 3 o'clock, and they are going to be tasked with coming up with the procedures and policy for how roads and buildings get named.
Thank you, Ms. Graham. And thank you for bringing that up, Wallace. Just a point in reference to that. Once that committee meets and makes recommendations to the full council, and those recommendations are passed, should it be that term limits, that a time frame be put on those, it very possibly could be retroactive to anything that is set up as an honorary designation. So even though you pass them now or at some time in the future, a change could be requested because what is passed by the council can be changed by the council. So I'm glad you brought that to our attention, Mr. Red. Are there any other comments?
I move that we adjourn, Mayor.
Motion adjourned. Adjourned.
Thank you.